What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Once a Project Podcast, brought to you by your host, Brandon. If you guys hear that noise in the background, that's Jackie leaving. She's feeling sick. But today we have a special guest, my friend.
Let's go.
Bradley. Bradley, what's your last name?
Rees.
Like,
no E at the end. Don't get it mistaken.
Like Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah, she's actually my sister.
Oh, dude.
Just kidding. That'd be a little weird for what we did. But
What you guys did? What you mean what we did?
never kiss and tell.
Ah. Dude, I want to bring you in because we met a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then, is it a couple, how many years?
Like around 2 years ago. Maybe 2.5.
Damn, 2 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Well, dude, because I've lived out here since September 2020, and we met not too long after that.
We met at the gym, too.
Yeah.
You're a mutual friend.
Yeah. Do we meet through Jaden?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so because he was talking to you, but I think I met Jaden before I met you. And then...
If that's the case, then it would have been like... Because I didn't meet Jaden until like November, December. And so it would have been around that time. So about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years is still a long time.
Yeah.
Even a year, dude. If you think about it, like... My sister yesterday, she's 8, and she was asking me. She's like, why is there 28 days in February and then there's 31 in March? Why does it end at 28? I couldn't answer. I was like, I don't know. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, who came up with 365 days in a year? Why doesn't it roll into like 366?
Yeah, that's a great question.
You ever thought about that?
Well, because I know, so the reason we have June, July, and August are because of different Roman emperors. So Augustine, he was like, oh, I want a month. So they made August. Julius Caesar was like, oh, I want a month. So they made July. And then I forget who June has been named after. But that's how we got 2 more months. So I'd have to research that. I wonder if like before those were added, the months were longer.
Yeah, because imagine if you...
Because obviously like 24 hours, that hasn't changed.
Right.
But
yeah, like how do you even measure that? How do you even count? Back in the day, how do you even count how many like, because they would say, oh, when the moon, how many moons have passed, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's like the language they would use. So how do you like keep track of it and then say, all right, 365 moons, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the breaking point for another year.
It wasn't even moon. Well, the moon like calculated the month, I think, but then it was our rotation around the sun. Although back then they thought it was the sun rotation around the Earth.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh, when it goes by one time, and they had to be like super precise with that because obviously you see the sun like every day, so you have to be like, okay, how is this like rotating around? And so I don't know.
It's fucking weird, dude.
People way smarter than me.
Dude, my sister asked me that question. I felt hella dumb, dude, because I was like, what the? I never thought about it.
I saw, who was it? I think it was, I can't remember who was saying this. It's some like astrophysicist.
Dude, you're looking built. Jesus Christ.
Thank you. It's the sweater.
Dude, this is a nice sweater. This is Murano, huh?
This is
I knew
Dillard sponsored. But yeah, there was this astrophysicist, and he was saying how like little kids are asking all the right questions. Like everybody else is dumb, but kids are asking like, oh, why is grass green? Why is the sky blue? It's like as adults, you're just like, oh, because it is.
Yeah. Well, because you grow up like just programmed to that's what it is, and that's kind of it's. So you don't even ask
because I said so.
Yeah, exactly.
And so and then these kids are like, well, why?
Yeah.
And so he's like, dude, they're asking the right questions.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I never thought about that either. Interesting. But guys, welcome to another episode. I have Bradley on just because, dude, you have a super interesting story. I remember one time we were at the gym, dude. We're gonna dive straight into it. And you were telling me about like the reason why you came here.
Yeah.
And like everything that was happening at home.
So, yeah, for you guys, obviously you don't know. Me and my dad did not get along, to say the least. So let me give you a quick rundown. I've got 8 older siblings. I've got 5 sisters, 2 brothers. Damn, cracking beers this early?
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, so those are my siblings. My mom died when I was 12. And then after that, like most of my siblings moved out of the house. It was just me, one brother, and one sister who were still in the house.
How'd your mom pass?
So I don't know exactly. Like, I know what it is, but I don't know the name of it. But it's basically where you have like multiple personalities. Not bipolar.
Personality? No, what's it called?
It's borderline personality disorder.
There we go. Yeah,
BPD.
Yeah, I knew it was personality disorder, but I knew there was something added to that.
So yeah, it's borderline personality disorder. So she had that, and because she had a really rough upbringing.
Yeah.
And so just a lot of those just compounded over years. And so she, one of those like suicidal personalities came out, and she ended up taking some pills and
whoa, man,
killing herself.
You know what's crazy, dude, is that I don't know if you told me that, but I thought she passed through like diabetes or cancer or something like that. That's what I kind of thought that I would remember. I did not think it was like suicide. Yeah. That's insane.
No, yeah, it was crazy. And so, my dad woke me up like middle of the night, and
How old were you?
I had just turned 12.
Damn.
So it happened like November 1st, like night of November 1st, and my birthday is October 10th.
Whoa.
So it was like a month after my birthday.
Whoa.
And so she was acting weird because of the pills and because of like that different personality that came over. Because it wasn't like, it sounds weird to say, so my mom's name is Michelle. So it wasn't my mom who killed herself. It was Michelle who killed her.
Right. Because like, I imagine with like that type of, what would you call it? Like a disease?
Disorder.
With that type of disorder, like the person obviously is not them, like they're not in their conscious mind, you know. It's kind of like you're someone else in a body that's yours but not yours.
Yeah, and it's like that. The reason those personalities come out in the first place is they're protecting a part of you.
Is that something that you're born with, like bipolar disorder, or is it something that happens through things like trauma?
It's something that happens through trauma.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so it's like that personality came out to protect a certain part of her.
Yeah.
And something happened where it felt like it needed to protect her, and it felt like the best way to protect her was to kill herself. And so obviously that wasn't the best way of doing it.
Right.
But
I wonder, do you think that, I don't know if you remember or not, but I wonder what type of things triggered her. Do you know? Do you recall something that would trigger her?
So my dad, 2 years previous to that, he signed on a new job to work overseas as a contractor.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Lockheed Martin?
Lockheed Martin, no.
They're one of actually I think they are the largest arms manufacturers for the U.S. military.
Oh, okay.
And so like your F-18s are like manufactured and designed by them and stuff. So he was working on a big project for them, and that was for 2 years. And he took a couple breaks to come home for a couple weeks at a time, and so that just took a toll because my mom's mental health was not as good as it should have been, or it also wasn't as good as she told him it was, because obviously he wasn't home to see everything.
Right.
And so when he came home, I think they got into an argument. I'm not sure about what.
Yeah.
Could have been anything.
I mean, could have been because the dishes weren't washed.
Could have been that. I think it was something a little more serious. I think because he was in one spot, because he moved around a couple times to like different countries and stuff. Like he was in Afghanistan, Kuwait, a couple different places, and he was in this country, Oman, for like 9 months, and that was I think his longest stretch in any one place. And I think this is just speculation on my part. I think she thought he was cheating on her with someone.
Okay. Yeah.
Which my dad gets so attached to one person. He has a lot of flaws, but cheating is not one of them.
Right. And that's, I mean, yeah, I can't imagine actually, because it's insane to think about how hard it might have been for your mom to raise 8 kids by herself.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
9 months, you know?
Yeah.
And then like not having her main support system next to her, you know? And so, yeah, that must have been really hard on her. So,
oh, absolutely.
so when that happens, what happened to you? Like, how did you deal with that? Because I have another friend that something similar to what happened to your mom happened to his. Although I don't know if it was like intentional or not. But she overdosed, you know. So, do you think? How did you deal with that? Because I know for him, I know it's hard, but at the same time, like it seemed like he just kind of brushed it off.
So I think that's kind of how I dealt with it, at least at first. I just didn't really see it as a big deal. I'm like, yeah, whatever, like life happens.
Yeah.
Like, and I still kind of have that mentality, but not so much towards that. It's like life happens. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly really surprised that I didn't go down a darker path, because I've done edibles once.
Yeah.
And that's the only like drug I've ever done outside of a hospital.
Okay. So no weed, nothing like that.
Nothing.
Wow.
I've never smoked anything. I've never even drank, and I'm 21 now. I still haven't.
Nice.
And like some of my siblings have, they've dabbled in drugs, alcohol, nothing bad to the point where they couldn't pull themselves out,
Right.
which is good. I'm incredibly grateful for that. But then also my mom, she struggled with alcohol and smoking and eventually like painkillers for a large majority of, well, actually the entirety of my life that I knew her.
I imagine that
long
probably
before I knew her.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
But I imagine seeing your mom kind of intake those type of vices. I imagine it was kind of one of those things for you guys to be like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. You know, I'm gonna kind of stay away.
And that's 100% why I don't do those things.
Yeah.
Is because I saw how they took a hold on her, and I don't want those same things to take a hold on me.
Yeah, no, that happens to me. In my family, like Coke was something, especially like, the parents. It was used a lot in my family, and so that's one of the things I'm like, okay, because I didn't like when they were on Coke, these individuals, so I knew how they were acting, and I saw like the mannerisms that they would do and whatnot, and I was like, that's not how I want to be, But I've dabbled in, in weed and mushrooms and things like that, but nothing where I'm like, addicted to it.
Yeah. I was going to say that was how I was with weed and Vicodin. Cause I took Vicodin for I got my wisdom teeth out.
Is Vicodin a painkiller?
Yeah.
Okay. People get hooked on that shit, dude.
It was one of the things my mom got hooked on. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
And so, yeah, like taking weed, taking Vicodin, I was like, that's cool. Like it mellows me out, but like it's nothing that I'm going to chase.
So
and so I'm super grateful for that.
Hell yeah, dude. Holy shit. And then we'll jump into kind of where your life is now. But so then you're 12, right? This happens, this tragic thing happens. And so you're the youngest?
Yeah.
So how did you notice your siblings deal with that? Did some of them get hit a little bit harder than others?
Definitely. So it's kind of tough to say too, just because at that age, I didn't see everything that was happening. Yeah. So from my perspective as a 12-year-old kid who this happened to, most of my siblings kind of isolated themselves. And also I didn't have a phone at the time. So in my family, you didn't get a phone until you were 16.
Oh, wow.
The only reason I got a phone earlier, because I got a phone when I was 12, it was just a few months before I turned 13, was because my dad was still paying for my mom's phone. And he was like, well, I don't want this to go to use, or to go to waste, I mean.
Interesting.
And so he was like, here, have this. Plus, we were all homeschooled. But after my mom died, the following school year, he was like, yeah, I'm putting you guys into public school. So
Did he come back?
Yeah. So when he came, oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that. So he was overseas for 2 years. He came back like October 30th.
Okay.
And like 2 days later, she died.
Oh, okay.
So he really came home at like the perfect time.
Yeah.
And so, so he came home, and then, let's see, I think it was me, my brother, and both my brothers and 3 of my sisters were living at home. Mm-hmm. 2 of my sisters and one of my brothers moved out almost immediately after she died.
Whoa.
And so they all left, and then everyone else, they all just kind of isolated themselves.
Yeah.
Which I totally get. Like, I don't blame them for that.
Yeah.
Because everyone deals with it in their own ways. And I can't say for certain what happened with all of them, but I think some of them took darker roads than others when it came to coping.
Yeah.
I know one of my sisters, she got married like 3 months later.
That was kind of like her escape.
Yeah, it was kind of like you know what, world keeps turning. I got to go deal with this. And then she did that. I had another sister who just partied a lot of different people. And then I had another sister who kind of just kind of got into some light drugs, you know, weed and, like, I say light, but like cocaine and just kind of to herself though. Yeah. And so they all kind of deal with it in different ways. And I didn't learn this until years later.
Yeah. Do you talk to your siblings now?
All of them.
Nice. That's always good to have that kind of like that communication with your siblings. I lack that in mine with my siblings a little bit. My family, like, nucleus is weird because, like, for example, my wife, right? She's very tight with her family, like super close. Like, they like to do things together and this and that. With my family, it's like, okay, I know you're home. Then that's kind of like it, you know, maybe a text message here and there, but we're not so tight. Yeah. But we're tight in the sense of, like, we trust each other. Mm-hmm. And so anyways, it's different.
And that's the thing. I have a very different dynamic with each of my siblings. It's not like I'm super close with all of them. So one of my brothers, he's handicapped mentally. He's got, it's called CDLS, Cornelia de Lange syndrome. Kind of similar to autism. Okay. But he still lives with my dad, and so I don't talk to him as much. Yeah. Occasionally I'll call my dad and be like, "Hey, where's Brendan?" Put him on the phone. But my other brother, I talk to him every day.
So, what does your dad do now?
He is, I'm pretty sure he's a telecommunications engineer.
Oh, cool.
And so he, like, in stadiums and mega churches and stuff, he'll design, like, lighting, like where all the lighting goes, the speakers and stuff. And I think he does less of the design work and more of the approval work. So other people, they'll write the designs, and then he has to rewrite them, make sure that they're all going in accordance with building codes and stuff.
That's dope. I'm going to have him do my studio then.
Well, he is super swamped right now with work. He was telling me, he's like, I need a raise.
Dude, yeah. That's sick. That's badass. So then, where are you from originally?
Virginia.
Yeah,
so kind of the upper, like, north west. It's a normal part called the Shenandoah Valley. Okay. I'm like right on the West Virginia and Maryland border.
Is it like a city, town? What type of?
It was a city.
Big?
Yeah, a little bit bigger than Idaho Falls. Okay. But we had more there. So I would actually say it's quite a bit bigger than Idaho Falls. But I was also about an hour west of DC. And so we got a lot of those, like, big city problems.
Yeah.
Although living in the suburbs, we could avoid a lot of that.
Yeah. Do you like Idaho Falls more than Virginia?
No.
No? Why?
Freaking hate this place.
Give me, like, 3 reasons why you hate Idaho Falls, and then I can give you 3 why I hate Idaho Falls.
Snow, ice, and wind. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, it's like size. This is weird, but, like, size-wise, it's a pretty decently sized place. Yeah. But yet there's, like, no, what's the word? There's no business here. Like, right. I feel like there's not a lot for the size.
Yeah, not a lot to offer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then also it's not very diverse at all. And, like, coming from a place, like, I grew up in a very diverse place. I mean, again, an hour west of DC, you're going to get a lot of diversity. Yeah. And here it's just a lot of farmers. I mean, now you're getting a lot more of, like, Californians coming in.
Yeah, but Washington people for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still very...
it's almost like tight knit, and it's like a clique that you can't get into.
It's almost like, I always say, it's always in... We're not calling any political parties here, but it's very conservative.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like, it's take away the political part, it's very conservative still. Like, people here,
you get a lot of like traditional LDS people. Because I mean, it's no secret that like the majority of people who live here are Mormon.
at least, dude. I mean, if we had to put the number, at least what would you say, 80%? Maybe
even that's a low ball number.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd say probably closer to 90, but again, I don't know.
Yeah,
they'd have to take a poll on that one.
And and it's like you said, there's not a lot to be offered here. And now that I think about it, you're right. It's very traditional in the sense of like a lot of the kids our age, they follow in the footsteps of their parents.
Yeah,
The parents follow in the footsteps of their grandparents and whatnot.
And that's even, growing up LDS, I saw that a lot too with the church. There's a lot of people who didn't believe in the church or were doing things that they didn't necessarily agree with, but because of the social pressure of their family, their friends, their community, they were doing it.
Yes.
You see a lot of kids going on missions that don't really want to go on missions. You keep sending these kids out and nobody stops to ask, hey, do you actually want to go?
Yeah. Nobody, there's like no voice.
Yeah.
I was LDS for a good minute. From now, I kind of stepped away from the church for my own reasons. Not that a lot of the things that the church teaches, I feel like are good, and I can stand behind. But a lot of the things I'm just like, I don't know if I really believe in that,
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of how it goes with any type of religion, really.
That's kind of the realization I made recently too, because I stepped away from the church because I was like, you know what? I don't like, because there's two separate parts to it. There's the church, which is all the people, the community, what they teach. And then there's the gospel, which is their actual core fundamental beliefs. Most of it laid out in the Book of Mormon.
Right.
And so I stepped away from the church for a while because I went, I don't agree with the church, but I still believe in the gospel.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I want to start going back because I think I have to deal with the church. You got to deal with the bad to get the good.
Right.
And so I went back to church, and then I realized, oh no, I don't believe in any of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
And that's not to say that it doesn't teach some really good values.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, to young me growing up in there, it taught me some really good values about respecting women.
Yeah, of course.
About respecting your elders, stuff like that. It teaches some really good things, but the actual core fundamental beliefs, I don't believe in.
Yeah, no. For me, I grew up Catholic, although like I was, baptized Catholic, but I never kind of grew up in the church, right? My parents weren't really too much of going to church and whatnot. So then after that, I looked around for I was like just looking at religions and seeing which one kind of fit,
Kind of window shopping.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what you have to do too.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn, you have to teach yourself and look at different types of things and see what you agree with and what you don't agree with. So then LDS, the religion kind of became something that I was like, okay, I agree with this, And then it was like the community, right? The church, the pressure they put behind you is intense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. So I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw some of the fundamentals that they believe in. I'm like, I don't know if I kind of stand behind that, And we don't have to get into detail, but so then after that I was just like, yeah, like I'm not following this as much as I thought I was. So then that's when I was like, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. Because I had elders reach out to me all the time.
Yeah.
President of the church and whatnot.
Because they want you to do everything all at once. And
yeah, it's like I joined, dude.
They really throw you in the deep end and say, learn how to swim.
Yeah, dude. I joined 2 months in. Oh, you ready for a mission? I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like, oh, I don't want any of that.
Yeah, I don't want to go on a mission. And then they're like, oh, well, you want to go to school? We can get you in school, this and that. I was like, I mean, chill.
It's like, homie, did you even ask if I wanted to do any of that
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, though, so to kind of close up the chapter on your mom, what's your advice for kids? Because it breaks my heart sometimes. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but some of these kids out here will disrespect their mom, like super bad. Like, they don't really take into account, like their mom, they brush them off. Sometimes they don't say, hey, mom, I love you. Hey, mom, this. Thank you for this. You know, they kind of just, oh, fuck you, you know, type of style. What's your advice to them?
So this is my advice that I try to live by with everybody, and I think everybody should. Obviously, there's the golden rule of treat others how you want to be treated. I think it's a little cheesy, a little overrated,
A little corny.
Yeah, because I mean, what if you want to be treated like shit? You know, who knows?
Yeah.
But imagine if every interaction you have with someone is going to be your last interaction. I mean, me working in whatever job you have, if you work customer service, you're going to deal with a lot of people you're never, ever going to see again.
Yeah.
Try to make it the best impression of yourself. But then especially with those people who you see over and over again, what if when you say, hey, fuck you, man, like that's the last thing that they ever hear from you? Because not only is there a chance of them dying,
right?
What if you die?
Exactly.
And what if that's the last idea of you that they have?
Yeah, I like that. I really do. I think that's great. That's great advice. Because you're right. You know, so you don't know when something happens. If you want, you can scoot a little bit forward, bro.
No, I'm good. I think it was just a little crooked.
You just never know what can happen to someone. And that's kind of how I live. Is just, you know, be respectful, be present, you know, with those that I love. Someone once told me, this guy, he's like, you know what I realized? I think his mom passed or something like that, or his dad, something, I don't know. And he's like, you know what I realized? He's like, I should have done more when my mom was alive. Let's say his mom did pass. He's like, I should have done more when my mom was alive. He's like, you know, you see all these stupid ass kids nowadays. They don't care about their loved ones. He's like, I wish I could give my mom some flowers right now, but I can't. I take them to the grave instead, to her grave. He's like, what's the point in that? You just leave them there. Instead, why not take the time out of your day and spend the $20 to go give her flowers?
Yeah.
Why not do that? Why do it after they're dead?
Not only that, but I mean, just even littler, smaller things than that. You know, she asks you to do the dishes. Say yes, ma'am, and do it the first time she asks.
And do them right, so you don't have to do it again.
It's true. You know, I was watching a video of these kids going through the Air Force for the first time, like their first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And one of they call them MTIs. I don't know what that stands for, but it's like basically the drill instructors for the Air Force, and they were folding their bed, making their beds and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You're gonna do it right, or he said you're gonna do it the right way or the again way." And it looks like you're doing it the again way. That's my favorite.
That's favorite line.
Yeah, I love that.
Hell yeah. So yeah, he's joining the Air Force, dude. How are you feeling about that?
Stoked.
So I kind of want to know this because we met we met through Jaden. Shout out to you, Jaden. He'll be on the podcast actually soon.
Whoa.
I'm gonna have him on, dude. Maybe you guys can come in before you leave because you leave April, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping to. I don't have an official date yet, but yeah.
So maybe before you leave, I can get a podcast in with him, and then I can get one with you too.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
So we met through Jaden, and then when I met you, didn't have much going on. I don't know if you were working at Dillard's yet or not, but I think you were.
I think I was.
And then at that time, I was involved in this business, right? And I was trying to get you to kind of meet my mentors at the time.
Yeah.
Which they're not no more, but that kind of never came through. And then that's kind of where I met Jackie, blah, blah, blah. Like got married, all this. We kind of lost connection a little bit because you stopped going to Botify, and I did too.
Yep.
So then the only times we would see each other was through was when I would go to Dillard's.
Yeah, like very occasionally.
Yeah, because I used to go a lot, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And then I kind of stopped. And so
you said this shit's ass. I don't want to buy here anymore.
Yeah,
let me go to JCPenney.
Nothing good was like coming out anymore either. I mean, the sweater you got on.
You said, let me go to TJ Mess.
Yeah, for real, dude. And so then you have like your relationships, and then this girl, and then he's a good looking guy. I mean, look at him. Jesus. He had another girl, and then all of a sudden you have another girl, and that's when you kind of told me, oh yeah, I'm going to the Air Force. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
When? How?
Dude, my plans have changed so many times.
So kind of guide me. What kind of happened for you to be like, I'm going to the Air Force?
So funny enough, so many people have asked me that. It's a funny story because it's not the typical one you hear.
Yeah.
Usually people, I mean, shoot, I've heard of people, they watch a movie and they're like, I want to do that. Let me go into the military.
Top Gun?
Yeah, Top Gun. You know, they see Top Gun. Funny enough, I had so many people be like, oh, you're going to be Maverick now? I'm like, he's actually in the Navy.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, they see Saving Private Ryan, Top Gun, whatever it might be. And they're like, oh, I want to do that. Or they have a really, powerful mentor who was in the military and they're like, I want to be like him. I was literally sitting in my bed one day and I was just thinking to myself, I was like, man, I have not done anything with my life for 2 years.
Yeah.
What the hell? And so I was thinking through a couple different options. I was like, okay, I should probably go to school because I wasn't going to church anymore. And I was like, I'm not going to go on a mission. And so I was like, I should probably go to school. School's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so how do I get around that? Military. Like I've always had a ton of respect for the guys in the military. And since like 6th or 7th grade, I've always like flip-flopped like whether I want to go into the military or not.
Right.
Excuse me. And so finally I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go into the military. Yeah. So then I started doing some research on what branch is best for me. And, you've always heard the Chair Force. They've got it so easy. And they do have the best benefits. Oh, wow. But they're the hardest to initially get into. Like, they're the most selective with who they let in. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, if they're the hardest to get into, let me try to get into them. Right. And then if that didn't work out, I'd go to whoever the second selective was, the third, and then just work down the line. And I ended up getting into the Air Force. Oh, wow. And so, yeah, and then the process has just been tedious. I've had to fill out background checks. I've had to give them all of my medical records. Like, literally since I was a baby, anytime I visited the ER or the urgent care, wow. I got to get all those records and give them to them. And then a couple of weeks ago, I had to go down to Salt Lake and get medically examined there, and then take a cognitive test too. And then finally, I had to get a waiver too. So in 2019, I dislocated my elbow. And apparently any dislocation like that automatically disqualifies you from any branch of the military. Oh, whoa. But all that means is that if they like you enough, if like everything else is good with you, then you just have to get a medical waiver. Okay. Which is what I had to do. It took about 2.5 weeks. Finally got passed through. And now tomorrow night, I'm staying in a hotel in Salt Lake. And then the next morning I signed to go to boot camp. Holy shit. So what's that's kind of the path it went. Yeah. Holy shit, dude. That's insane, dude. Oh, I'm excited for you, bro. That's badass. I'm stoked. What's the one thing you're looking forward to, and what's the one thing you're not looking forward to? Bad bitches who like guys in uniform. That's what you're looking forward. No. Honestly, I don't know if I can pinpoint one thing. Like, I'm super excited just to do something so different than anything I've ever done. Because, like, I've never done anything similar to what we're going to be doing. Like, I've shot guns a couple times and I love it, but like, I guess like the knowledge that I'm going to learn is like, I'm so excited for that. Like, the job I want to go into is to be a drone mechanic. Okay. And so like, I've done a little bit of mechanic work on my old car because I had to, and I loved it. And so doing it as a job be super fun. But then also like learning this knowledge about guns, and like I hear people talk about military and stuff all the time. And I'm like, I wish I could join in on that conversation. So that's probably what I'm most excited for, is just the knowledge that I'm going to get. Right. Something that I'm least excited for. Waking up early in the morning. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not a morning person. So those 4:30 a.m., 1.5 mile runs, not going to be great. Yeah. Hell no, dude. I've been wanting to try this new thing.
But I don't know how the hell I would do it living in this apartment. Maybe I can just buy a fucking tub and put it out in the
Ice baths?
balcony. Yeah, dude. Like, I hear people say, oh, the first thing I do in the morning is I wake up. I don't even put clothes on. I go and jump in 3 minutes into like a ice bath.
Just take a cold shower.
Like a cold plunge.
Yeah. There's a guy I follow on TikTok, and I think he posted the other day. It was like day 67 of taking ice baths every day. And
I've seen that guy on YouTube.
yeah, he's like, it's negative 14 degrees Celsius out here, and the water is 1 degree Celsius. And I'm like, holy.
I want to do that shit so bad, bro, but I don't even know where to fucking find a cold plunge to do that. I couldn't do it here at the apartment for
Just dive in the Snake River.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That would be badass.
Then you got to walk home.
You think it actually works though?
Cold plunge?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
have you done it?
there's a ton of, I've taken cold showers. Like I took cold showers for, I think like almost a year.
Damn.
Like almost a year straight. And it was great. Like I felt so alert. Like I didn't have the need for caffeine because I was taking caffeine previous to that, like every day. And to help me stay awake through classes and stuff, because this was like my senior year.
Oh, okay.
And junior, senior year. And yeah, and so then I started taking cold showers and I just felt more alert, more awake.
Mm-hmm.
What's also really cool is that, like, I don't know if you have problems with like sweating under your arm.
No.
Okay. Well, if people do, it like eliminates that.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I don't know what it does to your body's chemistry, but for some reason you sweat a lot less.
And also, I heard that cold showers are better for your skin.
Oh, 100%.
That they don't fuck up your skin bad.
Yeah, because hot showers, they not only irritate your skin just from the heat, but they dry it out too. And so if you're not moisturizing and you're taking like hot ass showers, you're killing yourself.
Dude.
Like, you're going to look like a prune by the time you're 35.
Dude, you're right, dude. That's why that would make so much sense. So my back, bro, like I'm naturally like a very dry person. Mm-hmm. Like I don't have a lot of what are they fucking called?
I don't know, like oil?
Oil,
yeah.
Essential oils. So my back though, that like dry, dude. That shit's dry. So I always, after I shower, I put lotion on. If not, then I can't walk. I can't, like, I feel so fucking
you feel
itchy.
weird. Yeah.
So I'm going to try cold showers and see how it works. I'll keep you guys tuned in.
Yeah, I get like really bad dry skin on like my tricep area, like the back of my arm. And yeah, I don't take cold showers anymore. I take like lukewarm showers. And so they're not like super cold. They're better, but not great. But even then, like lukewarm versus a hot shower, night and day.
And you know who showers with hot water? Like I'm talking all the way up.
Women,
dude. My wife, dude, all the time, bro. I'm like, what the? Dude, what are you burning yourself in here for?
That's me. When I was living with my ex, I would walk into the bathroom like after a shower, and I'm like, damn, it's a damn sauna in here. What the hell?
Hot, dude.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why. Like, I really don't.
Seriously, I feel like there should be like a harp playing in there after their shower.
For sure.
I'm like, man, this feels cozy.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, what the fuck? But
or like it's even worse when they're like, oh, come shower with me, and then you get in, and you're like, I'm not touching that water.
Dude, that's happened a couple times, but I'm just like, dude, it's too hot, and I have to lower it. And then this is the worst, is when they're like, no, and they freaking flip it back up. I'm like,
or no, the absolute worst is when you get in the shower and then they get in with you, and then they're like, oh, it's so cold, and then they turn up. You're like, bro, this is my shower. Get out.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. Oh man. But
like, I love you, but
like this
GTFO.
is yeah. So you're joining the Air Force. How long are you going for?
Initial contract will be 6 years.
Whoa.
So if I don't like that, I can still get out, get, all of those benefits. Yeah. Free school, 10% off at frozen yogurt places. Nice. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
That's the best.
Yeah.
So when you say free school now, is that towards, cause obviously, with colleges, there's certain ranks, right?
Yeah. So I don't know what the actual specifications are, but I think there's a dollar limit.
Okay.
And so like per semester.
Yeah.
So it's like Harvard, I think they would help you towards that, but you'd still have to pay some out of pocket.
Yeah.
Versus something like BYU, they pay for.
Right. Or like ISU.
Yeah, exactly. Like those where it's going to be a lot cheaper. like, I don't know what the semester dollar amount limit is, but yeah, there is a certain cap to what they'll pay for.
Gotcha. So what school do you want to go to?
I think honestly, initially, I've heard really good things about the Air Force Community College.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Air Force Community College has, I mean, because almost every school, when you're taking your first year of just generals, like it's not going to matter if you're going to Harvard or some community college, because it's teaching the same stuff.
Yeah. And you can transfer those credits too, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. But also, it's like where I'm working with the Air Force, I don't know what my job schedule is going to look like yet. Yeah. And so if I'm with the Air Force College, chances are they're going to be more understanding.
Right. Now, what do you want to go into school for?
So I want to get a degree in accounting. Okay. And then get my MBA after that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So become a business accountant.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's the goal right now. But here's the thing: if I like that first 6 years, if I stay in the Air Force for 20 years, I can retire. So get a pension at 41 years old, young dude. And
plus, if you go to college, I mean, I think maybe you can. I don't know, but I think you can probably go to college while you're in school for those 20 years. You come out retired, then can you still work?
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly what I would do. I'm not actually retiring at 41. I'm just retiring from the military when I'm 41. Yeah. If I like it, and then then you can start your real venture.
Yeah. Do you think I don't know what our time is, but I think we're good though. Do you think what do you think about like do you know a lot about Ukraine and Russia?
Not too much. I mean, like, to be quite honest, I stay off the news. It makes me sad and mad. Yeah. And so, like, I know Russia kind of invaded Ukraine. Ukraine is fighting back with all that they can, and they're doing a hell of a job. And the U.S. is helping Ukraine a ton. I don't like what Russia's doing. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think it'll turn into a World War III, like what some people are saying. Yeah. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. If it does,
you'll be there.
We're all fucked.
No, I was going to ask you about that because I've stayed up to date with Russia and Ukraine, not to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm super knowledgeable, but enough to I'm like, okay, this is fucking stupid, you know? Yeah. I mean, more so that, we're sending Ukraine, I think, billions of dollars.
So much money.
If I'm correct, might not be, but if I'm correct, I think like $3 billion have been sent. Yeah. And that's all coming out of taxpayers' money.
Something crazy like that. It's a good thing I evade my taxes. But.
Yeah, dude. I did my taxes the other day, and I was like, damn, dude, a lot of this shit's going to Ukraine right now. Yeah. Which is, whatever. But I want to ask you, though, well, with these things, oh, you're good. I was going to ask you, though, so growing up in the religion, how was it like dating wise? Because I have friends that they're like, oh, I can't date until I'm 16, right? And they're LDS. I'm like, okay, cool. So then, not right now. Yeah. But back then,
I'm like, whoa, what 16-year-olds are you hanging out with?
No, not right now. But back then,
16, that's way too old for me.
Yeah. But it was more like their dating was like fucking holding hands.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's like homeschoolers dating.
Yeah.
And I can say that because I was homeschooled.
Yeah. And that's something about that too, because I was working at this family place, completely off track, but this place yesterday. And it's like the second or third family I've encountered that has like 6 kids that instead of like going to school, they're homeschooled.
Which I think is, I have thoughts about this.
Like, I don't know what but it's only LDS families that I've encountered that have like 6 kids, homeschooled, but they're not even like homeschooled. It's more like do your own thing. Cause like the kids there, dude, they're just like on their phone, walking around the house, not knowing what to do, bored as hell. You can tell they're bored. They're living out in the middle of nowhere in Firth. It's like, what the hell?
So 2 things to that. One, growing up here, because my roommate grew up here and he's LDS. And so it's very black and white here, where it's either super Mormon or not Mormon at all.
Right.
Versus back east, there's a lot of gray. Like I grew up around a lot of different religions. My Nana's Catholic. Like I had a lot of friends who were Baptist, Catholic, Presbyterians, whatever. And so I have encountered other families who are homeschooled, big families who aren't Mormon. I think it's just very religious families. So I've seen some Catholics do it, some Baptists do it. Obviously, a lot of LDS families do it. But there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Right. If you are doing actual schooling and you're helping them, you're teaching them and stuff, I think it can be great. I would never put my kids through it because you don't get the social interactions that you can with public school. Those kids are going to be weird. Everybody knows homeschool kids are weird. Yeah. That's why whenever someone's like, oh, you were homeschooled? Like, you don't act like a homeschooler. I'm like, thank you. Yeah. I know I don't.
I worked for this.
It's like I've tried so hard for this. But yeah, me, dude, I grew up like that family you were talking about. It's like, we were given books, school books, and it's like, oh, do that. But then we never did it. Right. And so honestly, dude, going into 7th grade, I probably had a 3rd or 4th grade education. Whoa. Now I caught on really quick. Yeah. And I was able, I just sat back and observed for I don't know, probably a month or 2. And then I was like, okay, I get this. And I went out of my way to ask some teachers, especially math and history, and English, to be like, hey, can I get some private sessions with you during lunch and just kind of catch up? And so they kind of knew my situation. Oh, okay. And so they helped me through that too. And
that's cool.
So yeah, I was able to catch up pretty fast. But I know some kids, dude, if I was thrown in during 9th or 10th grade, dude, I would have been fucked.
Yeah, dude, for sure. That's crazy. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I just see it sometimes what the fuck, this is weird. I feel bad for the kids because it's horrible. Those kids, dude, I just see them bored on their phones, walking around the kitchen, not knowing what to do. They're living out in the middle of nowhere. It's like a farmland. And they have nothing to do.
We asked our parents countless times, why don't you put us into public school? Please put us into public school. Yeah. But they had a bad experience with the public school 10 years previous. And so it just left a sour taste in their mouth. And so they're like, no, this is fine.
Interesting.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't.
Yeah, fuck. Dude, I liked school. So, I mean... so how was it dating in the Mormon religion, in the LDS religion?
Let me tell you, I got 0 bitches in high school. And so, dude, I was actually just talking to a friend about this the other day. My siblings had it a lot worse than I did. Okay. As the youngest, especially of 8, my dad got soft when it got to me. Right. And so when it even came time for dating, it was just my dad in the picture.
Okay, yeah. Right.
And so I don't know how my mom would have acted because with dating, I don't know. I'd have to ask my siblings which one of them were more strict. Yeah. So I really don't know. But all I know is that my dad got soft by the time it got to me. And so I didn't really date in high school. One, because I just didn't really feel like it. I was
I didn't see a point.
Yeah, I'm dude, all you guys are doing is drinking, having sex.
For the most part, that's what literally happens.
Yeah, and so I'm doesn't really interest me. I'm going to go play Minecraft with my friends.
Yeah.
And so, but I was really good at flirting in high school. Dude, I flirt up a storm.
You handsome bastard. Look at you.
Yeah, I know. And dude, at stake activities and stuff for church and stuff. Yeah. Wow, I'd meet all my friends and stuff. And dude, I'd flirt up a storm. I could go on dates with girls. Mm-hmm. I could not close to save my life.
Really?
Dude, literally there's this one chick. I was kind of dating her. I was talking to her. I was talking to her for 2 or 3 months. I went to homecoming with her. I was going on dates with her. And
was she Mormon too?
Yes. Okay. Well,
ish.
Yes. And dude, we would go to the movies. We'd go on these day dates and stuff. We went to pumpkin patch and stuff, cute datey stuff. Never once Did I even hold her hand?
Whoa.
Dude, I'm telling you, I look back and I want to punch that kid in the mouth.
Did you, was it because she was putting that energy out there too? Like weird energy?
No,
or was she's
dude.
like super like, come on?
No, it was.
That was hella gay, but listen, I'm not gay.
Wait, do that again. What did she do?
Come on.
No, like she was reciprocating and stuff. And I just talked to a mutual friend of ours because I'm still really good friends with her. And we were just kind of talking about the past, catching up and stuff. And she's like, yeah, this girl, her name was Haley. She's like, yeah, I remember Haley telling me, she was like, yeah, we went to the movies and stuff and he didn't even hold my hand.
Dude.
And so like, I think the whole reason it fizzled out was just because I didn't grow a pair and plant one on her.
And she probably thought that you were not like interested in her like that.
Dude, probably. She's like, what is this kid's deal?
Yeah. I've heard this one thing, dude, you were more LDS than I ever was.
More Mormon's a hard thing to say.
Say that 10 times, dude. Tell me how it goes. But while I was in the LDS religion, I heard shit, I heard some things and I'm like, is that really true? So someone once told me that in college, maybe not in college.
I know where you're going with this. Oh.
Do you care if I ask, or do you not?
Go for it.
Okay, so I don't know if this is true, okay, but this is what I've heard.
I'll tell you, I don't participate in this, but I know what you're trying to say.
I heard that like when like these Mormon kids want to have sex, they basically just go in, have intercourse, but they don't move. They just kind of like sit there,
It's called soaking.
But this, just to add on to it, in my head, when I think about that, I'm like, okay, well, it's just two people, right? Mm-hmm. But then someone told me once that there's friends around that move the guy, and then that's how like they have quote unquote sex. But it's not them having sex because it's not like the guy going in and out.
The mental gymnastics that these kids go through to think that they're not sinning. Dude, y'all are naked together. You stuck it in.
You're having sex, dude.
You're having sex. You're just being a pussy about it, and you're not actually having fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, because
literally,
what a waste of time, dude, just to sit there and quote unquote soak.
Because,
right?
dude, they literally put it in and then just leave it. It's like, bro.
Dude, and then you go home with blue balls? What type of shit is that?
I have no freaking clue. But yeah, and then I have heard of kids who are like, they'll be like covered up, obviously, like in a blanket.
Yeah.
And then another kid will like jump on the bed and stuff to like,
yeah.
Oh, he's doing it. Like, we're not having sex. He just happens to be jumping on the bed. It's like, bro, you asked him to.
Yeah.
You stuck it in. Yeah, you're having sex.
Yeah, of course. I mean, dude, one's meat touches meat, I'm not talking like men meat.
It's like, I don't know how I got pregnant. Was his dick in you? Yeah, that's how.
So does it actually happen though? Do people actually soak?
From what I've heard. At BYUI, I don't know because I don't have weird ass friends who do that stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I have some friends at BYUI who just have sex, which fine by me.
It's college, dude. It's gonna happen.
I don't care what you do.
I once went and sold weed to a guy at BYUI who was going to BYUI, but he was smoking weed and dabs in his college dorm with his girlfriend there. And it's like, you're obviously not Mormon.
Dude, yeah, so the term that people use is Jack Mormon.
Oh,
and like it's people who put on the facade of
being
LDS, but really they're doing all the stuff that they shouldn't be doing. Gotcha. And I'll be honest, I was Jack Mormon at a point. I was
Jack Mormon too. Shit.
I feel like everybody who eventually leaves the church, there's like a process. You're Mormon, then you question things, then you dabble in some stuff, then you become Jack Mormon, and then you leave.
Yeah,
or
literally.
Or you're Jack Mormon, and then you go, I shouldn't be doing this, and you go back to the church. You have you like come to a crossroads, and when you're Jack Mormon, you go, okay, do I stay or do I leave?
Yeah, or you're like me who goes in being Jack Mormon initially, and then you're like, I'm going to try my best not to be Jack Mormon. But then you're like, I don't agree with that. So then you become Jack Mormon. You're like, yeah, this is not for me. And then you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
That's more complicated. But
so, yeah, I don't know. I do know that soaking does happen. I haven't heard from personal accounts, but I have heard from those friend of a friend stories.
Yeah. Oh, friend told me, dude.
Yeah, dude, friend told me he had the best soaking
it's that
experience.
It's that friend that you're talking to.
Yeah,
He's the one who did that.
I'm
shit?
like, wait a minute, what's his name?
Wait, what'd you say?
That's funny.
Yeah, I bet there's some weird ones out there, dude.
No, absolutely, dude. Kids up there will do everything under the sun besides sex. I do know that, dude. I've been with a couple girls up there.
Yeah.
Who they will quite literally like give dudes head. They'll, other way around. They'll do anal, but they're like, oh, you can't stick it in my.
That's what I've also heard too. Is that these kids like will do like the girls will be like, oh yeah, like not. I've never had like that happen to me, but like a friend of a friend, type of deal. Tell me like, oh yeah, do they like it in the ass, and that's kind of how it goes.
Dude, I've been with a girl. Like I made out with a girl. She's like, yeah, I've been fisted, but I've never had sex.
Holy shit.
I'm like, dude, you skipped like 10 steps there.
Fisted, dude?
You've been doing the side quests.
Yeah, dude. Fisted is like a side mission, dude.
I know. I'm like, dude, that's a side mission that most people don't even complete. You're 100% in the game without doing the main story.
Dude, a fucking fist, dude.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, a penis is like, my penis versus this?
Yeah, dude. And then the girl, dude, look at my fist, dude. The girl with my fist is insane.
Dude, my fist is big, but my penis small. Dude,
yeah,
you can take it.
I mean, Jesus. No, but yeah, I've heard that. And then I heard this crazy fucking theory, like conspiracy theory. I don't know who told me this. Someone told me this. I was working up in Rexford for a long time, like 2 years ago. And they told me that, I don't know how true this is, but they say that up in BYUI, there's like underground slut houses, basically. Like underground places where kids go and have sex, where they won't get caught.
It's not underground. It's in the dorms. There's a couple places you can go. Like there's a couple housing units specifically. Mm-hmm. I don't know which ones, but I have been told this by friends. And this isn't like friend of a friend. It's like they know.
Oh, okay.
And basically, like there's like a schedule. It's like every, third Wednesday or something like that. And it's like the girls who are available, they'll light a candle and put it in their window.
What? Dude, it's like some Mexico type of shit,
That's what
dude.
I'm saying. I'm like, oh, she's got one. Although, in my opinion, they should put like a picture of what they look like too. But, to each their own.
I mean, dude, make it easy.
That's
shit. Like,
dude, but I'm saying just go on Tinder like most people.
Yeah, dude.
It's like if you want to participate in hookup culture, get Tinder.
Yeah, or like just make a big group chat.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, you know what I would do? This is what I would do. I would be like the organizer in a sense, because they're all over 18, so it's like I won't get in trouble. Mm-hmm. But I would make like a group chat, right? And I would
just call it missionaries.
That's good.
Thank you.
And then I would charge $5-10 to link up person A with person B.
You
know what I'm saying? Am I a pimp at that point?
Yeah, I was just about to say, you just described being a pimp with a stable of whores.
But like I'm not like hitting these girls or like, go fuck that guy. It's like, hey, listen, I'm just like the middleman here. I'm going to put you guys together.
That's exactly what a pimp is.
And you guys can have fun.
That's funny though. You're the LDS pimp.
That'd be hilarious, dude.
That is funny though.
I don't know. I feel like that would be probably like a good business because it's like reoccurring. There's new college kids coming in.
I think that's it. If it got out,
I'd probably go to prison.
I was gonna say, since you're charging money, I think it could be considered prostitution.
I do gambling, Yeah. I'd be like, it's a gamble. People come in, they roll the dice. If you get two and they get two, then that's the person you link up. I don't have a.
Yeah, until you get two people. Damn it.
Yeah. Shit. No, I don't know, dude. I feel like there's a lot of crazy shit up there. For sure. Not. How many kids, like percentage wise, what do you think the percentage is of how many kids are actually like straight line Mormons up in BYUI, and some of them are like Jack Mormons? You think it's 50-50?
I was just about to say, I think it's probably like 50-50.
That's insane.
Maybe a little bit more, maybe like 60-40. Mm-hmm. But the thing is too, I think age plays a big part in that, because I think there's a lot of freshmen who go up there
Straight line.
Straight line, because they're like, oh, I'm going to BYUI because I couldn't get into BYU. Because let's be honest, most people, that's why they go to BYUI.
Because they want to go to BYU?
because they couldn't get into BYU.
Where's BYU?
Or it's too expensive. BYU's down in Provo.
Oh, so that's like the bigger school.
But BYU is an actual university. Like they play in the NCAA and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And so they're like an actual college.
Yeah.
BYUI is like a subset of that.
And then there's BYU Hawaii, right?
Yes, there's also BYU Hawaii, which I think is also like a subset of. It's also a subset of BYU, but BYU Hawaii obviously is way cooler than BYU Idaho.
Oh, dude, listen, if I was
I
Mormon,
have a couple of friends who go there.
Yeah, if I was Mormon again and I was single and they told me, oh, where do you want to go, BYU I or BYU Hawaii? Follow me out to BYU Hawaii right now.
So the thing is, though, is that BYU Hawaii is the hardest to get into out of the three because everybody is applying to it and it's like the same size as BYU I.
Oh.
And so it's like a small college, but everyone's applying to it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Dude, holy shit, dude. That would make a ton of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Why there's so many at BYU I.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, isn't it insane?
You want to know, this was as of 2017 or 2018. You know what BYUI's acceptance rate was?
Huh.
97%.
Holy shit, dude. I can go in then.
Yeah. Dude, literally, as long as you get a confirmed interview with your bishop, that's like the hardest part. It's called an ecclesiastical interview. So you just
okay.
You just have to get an
Holy
interview
shit.
with your bishop, and he's like, "Are you doing drugs? No. Do you have sex? No." It's like, "Are you worthy?" It's basically like
Where you get baptized, basically?
It's basically like, "Are you worthy to go into the temple?"
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, then you can go.
Yeah, because when you get baptized, that's what they ask you.
Yeah, pretty much same thing.
You know, I was gonna ask you. Oh, what the fuck was it? BYU. We were talking about BYU. Shit, just went away.
But
oh, did you ever get your patriotic?
My patriarchal blessing?
Yeah,
I did actually.
Did it, the things that it said on there, was it true?
I was kind of testing them when I got my blessing. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
So, I was thinking about a mission.
Yeah.
And I hadn't told anyone yet. Like I hadn't told my bishop.
Yeah.
I hadn't told the patriarch who was gonna give the blessing. And so he was like, the patriarch, he was like, "Oh, so what's going on in your life and stuff?" And I was like, "I ain't telling you shit."
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to see if this is actually like revelation.
Yeah,
or is it like...
Should we explain to them
what
kind
of is it is? Like, oh yeah, so a patriarchal blessing.
This shit's crazy, by the way.
A lot of kids in the church, they try to tell kids not to get it till you're like 16 because they want you to understand it and stuff. And so they, it's basically just a blessing foretelling your life and like how good it's going to be if you uphold all the commandments and stuff. And so
correct.
A lot of it is like, especially guys who get the blessing when they're like 16, 17. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're going to serve a great mission. You're going to find a great wife. You're going to have some kids.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And so it just like kind of talks about that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just like a revelatory blessing that you get. And a lot of people, they'll look back on it on hard times and stuff and be like, you know what? Yeah, this is such great inspiration and stuff. Like people keep it around and stuff and they'll read it like all the time. Like I know some people who read their patriarchal blessing every day.
All right, dude. Psycho.
Yeah.
For sure.
And they vary in length too. Some people, it's like one short paragraph. Other people, it could be 3 pages.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
What was yours?
Mine, I think mine was like 1.5 pages.
So was the stuff on there, did it come true?
No.
Obviously.
It's like you're gay. It's like, no, I'm not.
No, I was gonna get mine, dude. They were fucking on my ass on getting one. I was just like, fuck, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, what am I supposed to do, you know?
Yeah.
But I never got mine, but they would tell me, oh yeah, they'll tell you, you know, this and that.
No, mine, yeah, you know, but I was telling him, he's like, so what's going on in your life? I was like, oh, not much. Like I moved out here. Yeah. I've been doing great. I'm going back to church. It's like, any mission or anything? Nope. So, And so I just keep it like very vague with him just to see what happens. And of course, it didn't say anything about a mission. And it was like, you're going to have a happy marriage in the temple. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The happy marriage part. Temple, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
This dude.
Yeah, and then I can't remember exactly what it said because last time I read it was like back in August when I got it.
Holy shit.
And so it's been a while. I should have read it before. I should have brought it with me.
Hey,
Shoot, I'd read the whole thing for you.
Dude, I wait. Oh, no, maybe next time.
Well, dude, because sometimes they're like they in the church they kind of talk. They're like, you should only share this with like very close people to you, you know, like your spouse or maybe share excerpts from it, but don't share the whole thing. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna read the whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna read it for the internet.
You know who in that house I was telling you about where I was working, they have this big ass like fucking like huge
like picture frame
of like the family
proclamation to the world.
Dude, I was like, what the? Like that's how I knew that family that I was working there was like they're deep in that cool.
You want to hear the crazy thing?
Huh?
I had one of those in my house.
What, dude?
Dude,
hey, me too though.
So you come down the stairs.
Yes.
Like the main stairs, and there's a mirror right there. You just to help with the feng shui of the house.
Yeah.
So there's a mirror right there, but then you go left into the living room, and just on the right there's a wall, and it has the family, a proclamation to the world.
Yeah, I had a little one like this big.
Yeah.
Like just paper, but I never read it though. I was just like, whatever.
All it is it's basically like marriage is between a man and a woman. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all it says.
Let me tell you who's on steroids though.
Who?
President Nelson, dude.
No, mames.
Dude, he's like 98 years old.
So there's people who have lived longer.
Dude, I bet that fool...
He is kicking around. But he also, the church has tons and tons of stocks from guess who? Pfizer.
Dude, he's getting injected.
And so
whatever.
when COVID vaccine came out, guess what the church told them to do because of revelation?
Get the COVID vaccine?
Get the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, dude. I mean...
There's a lot of people too who fought on that one. And it's the same people who are like, oh, anything the prophet says is like revelation. You should do whatever he says. And he says, get the COVID vaccine. I'm not getting no COVID vaccine. What the fuck?
I didn't get that shit. Did you?
No.
Me neither. Yeah, fuck that.
I'm so happy I didn't.
Same, dude.
Because like my work at Dillard's, they were like, oh, you have to wear a mask unless you get the COVID vaccine and like complete COVID vaccine. So you had to get, you know, both
the 3 shots.
Yeah,
basically.
2 or 3 shots. Yeah. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick it out, wear a mask.
Yeah.
I haven't worn a mask in months now because they lifted that mandate. Yeah. And now even the military is like, yeah, you don't need the COVID vaccine to get into the military.
It's crazy how you still need it to travel though.
Internationally?
No.
I know you don't need to have it to travel in the U.S.
So then, internationally, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Looks like I'm not going overseas.
Yeah, dude. But if you come from other nations here, right? So like you come from fucking Europe here, you don't need the COVID vaccine. But if you go out, you do.
So wait. So if someone came from Germany, and they came to the U.S.,
you don't need it.
But what if that same person had to get back to Germany?
Well, that's tricky because they're citizens from Germany.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, would they be like, oh, you have to get the COVID vaccine while you're in the U.S.? Or?
I think so, maybe though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. That's fucking insane. That's something I have a big issue with. But
interesting.
Yeah, dude. For sure, President Nelson, dude, for sure on steroids.
I don't know.
I think
that's tricky. I think he just takes his BCAAs.
I hear he has I feel like he probably lives like really good.
He drinks 2 protein shakes a day.
That's it?
I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
No, I hear he has like his own like security team.
I swear I saw a video of him deadlifting 405.
Imagine. No, I feel like they told me that he had his own security team and whatnot.
So every prophet, because there's been, I think he's like I don't know what number, but
50th?
No, there hasn't been that many prophets. I think there's been like 20 something. Yeah. 20 or 30.
I only knew about 2. The one before him and then him.
President Monson?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how many prophets there has been, but each prophet has had a security detail.
Dude, tell me not, dude. LDS is probably one of like, well then there's Catholic religion.
They're the 3rd largest church in the world.
But they're the richest too.
Money wise.
Yeah. 3rd, dude, that's so much fucking money. Have you seen their temple in Rome?
Think about it think about it this way. Catholic Church has been around for how long? Since the
1800s? Before? 17?
Older than that.
Since the Roman era.
Dude, yeah, it's been like since like 500 AD. Something like that.
Yeah, because they came in really into play when the Romans were coming up.
Yeah. Well, when the Romans fell. Because Catholicism is based on Christ, and so Christ died at like 27 AD.
Mm-hmm.
He died when he was in like his 20s.
I thought 30s.
Oh, maybe 30s. So maybe like 30 AD.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Catholic Church, and don't quote me on this, but I think it started around like 500 AD.
Yeah. Should we look it up?
Yeah.
I'll look it up.
But then the Mormon religion started in the 1800s. So the Catholic Church is the richest church in the world. And the third richest church in the world started in the 1800s.
I wonder who's the second.
I think it's Muslims.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It doesn't say when it started.
Look up when.
Oh, 1900 years old. No one truly knows.
So it's 1900. So it was around like 100 AD then.
Yeah, because it was founded in the Roman Empire.
Yeah. So something that's been around for almost 2,000 years.
And then Jesus Christ died at 33.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So a church that's been around for almost 2,000 years versus a church that has been around for like 200 years are both in the top 5 richest churches in the world.
And did you know
which is insane?
That is insane because of the numbers. But do you know that Joseph Smith was also in the mob?
Yeah.
And that's why they went from fucking, I don't even know where they started.
They started in
Maine or something.
New York.
Like, yeah.
So because he was born in Palmyra, New York.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is upstate. And dude, they bounced around so many places. And because he told his followers, the church, that he was like, oh yeah, the church is being driven out of these places. The mobs are forcing us out. No, they were trying to arrest him. You know how many felony charges he had against him?
Because of liquor. You know, he was
because of liquor, because of fraud,
yeah.
because of some property laws.
Yeah, literally.
Well, so the thing is too is like,
he got killed in prison.
He got killed while awaiting trial.
For
fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he died a martyr. No, he didn't. He died a criminal. Anyway, that's
criminal.
That's kind of where my problems with the church started.
Yeah, that's mine
too. It was
too.
Joseph Smith, because if you take away Joseph Smith, if you take away his credibility, then what credibility does the Book of Mormon have?
Right.
If he translated it.
Because he's the one who saw God in the fucking forest and
which,
whatnot.
funny enough, that first vision story changed like 7 times before it finally got written down.
Yeah.
Because there was multiple versions where it was just Jesus, or it was just God, or that they said different things, or that there was a third personage. And so, but, what was I can't remember what I was going to say with that.
Well, yeah, because they moved here to Utah. They kind of expanded.
Yeah, well, they moved to Utah after he died.
Yeah.
Because he died, then Brigham Young took over, and then he was like, hey, let's go find our own place.
Yeah, that gets tricky there, dude. And then that's where like all these other like
that's what I was gonna say.
Church fucking roots come out with what's it called? Polyganism?
It's called polygamy.
Polygamy, and then there's the fucking
which I will say there are certain aspects of the church I will defend. The church has not practiced polygamy in years.
Yeah, the LDS
the
church.
LDS church, the FLDS church still practices polygamy.
Which their fucking leader is insane.
Basically, Joseph Smith died. And then Brigham Young became the prophet, but Joseph Smith's wife, Emma, was like, shouldn't it be his brother that becomes the prophet? She got pissed, and then his brother and Emma, they went and started the FLDS church.
Yeah, and then I met a guy who grew up like in the FLDS or whatever.
You're kidding. Dude, that place is legit a cult.
I
won't say Mormonism is a cult because I don't think it is. There's fundamental differences, but the FLDS church, full on cult.
That's what some people get, and I will defend the church in that aspect too. So people get it confused. LDS is not cult, although they have some cult-ish.
I was gonna say they have some cult-like tendencies, but
it's not a cult. You know,
it's not a cult.
There's no polygamy.
You're not trapped there via money or property or anything.
Yeah, But the other one.
Yeah, the FLDS church, they're like, we'll kill you if you leave.
Yeah. Did you hear about that guy? Did you ever see that show on Netflix called Pray, Love, and Obey or some shit like that?
Yes.
Is that the same FLDS?
No.
Or is that separate?
Different.
Now that motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah.
That fool's insane.
That mofo was. Whoa. Yeah. I watched that one and I was like, this makes me uncomfortable.
Dude, at the end when they play the audios, bro, it's like, what the and then the fact that he had his wives around as he was doing that to like a little girl too.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
that's disgusting.
And there's people that still follow that person.
Yeah, which is bewildering.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's what I was gonna say. The Catholic Church, I think the reason that they're so rich is because they've been around for so long.
Of course.
And they, like, all of their donations and stuff, when they pass around that collections basket and stuff, they don't expect you to put, any dollar amount. They're just like anything
works.
Anything that you feel is going to settle your debt with God. And which I think is cool. The church, it's like a mandatory 10%.
I never gave it.
Yeah, it's called a tithing, and you literally can't go into the temple if you're not a full tithe payer.
Yeah.
And so it's a pay to win game.
Yeah, I never pay that shit.
Yeah, no, I haven't paid tithing since I was like 15.
Yeah, I was like, I don't, dude, I can barely even make it by myself. Like, I don't,
yeah.
I'm
like, you expect me to cut 10% out of my paycheck and God will cover the rest?
Yeah. And I was like, nah.
Sounds weird to me.
But, yeah.
I'm like, I have to pay my car insurance. Sounds like you're not going to get eternal salvation. Sorry, bozo.
Yeah, dude. And that's how they would do it is like they'd be like,
they're like gently threatening you.
You'll get more blessings if you pay your tithing. Okay, yeah, but I also need to pay my gas and my phone bill. So
yeah, it's like, I'll be blessed if I pay my rent.
Yeah. No, I actually met a guy. I worked with a guy who grew up in the FLDS. Is that how you would call it, FLDS?
Yeah, I think so.
And his dad was married to 8 women and had like 40 something kids.
Holy.
Yeah, he grew up with like 30, 40 siblings.
Jeez, did they even remember all their names?
I don't know. I don't really know too much. I haven't talked to the guy in a while, but he looked Amish,
At that
but
point,
he's not Amish.
At that point, I would take the pacifiers route. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Pacifier with Vin Diesel. He's like, I'm not going to remember your names. Red 1, Red 2, Red 3,
Yeah.
Red Baby.
Yeah, and then he explained it. He's like, as a little kid, it was fun, just a bunch of my siblings, But then as you grow up, like it's different, And he actually, I think he stepped away from that religion and then now has his own life.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I want to bring him in, but I don't know if he'll be willing to talk about it.
Yeah, I know people who have left stuff like that, it can be kind of touchy. So
yeah, I don't want to get killed either, dude.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Those fools.
You ask him the wrong question, you just.
Yeah, dude. But holy shit, I think we should cut it, bro. I think we're good on time.
Yeah.
I have no idea how long we've been going for. What a fun conversation, though.
Yeah, dude, this is fun.
This is sick, dude. Instagram, anywhere they can find you, bro. You want to give your @
Find me in a ditch on the side of the highway. Was it Brad.Rees _ and that's on Instagram.
Currently single?
Currently. And then my Snapchat is Bradley K. Rees. No E at the end. Don't get it mistaken.
There you go. Yeah, go check him out on his Snapchat or Instagram. He's leaving to the Air Force soon, hopefully. So if he doesn't respond, that's the reason. And then go check us out at BrandonALara. That's my personal. Jackie with 3 A's, CKIE _ is my wife's. And then the OAP official is a podcast Instagram. And then on YouTube, Once a Project Podcast, Spotify, Apple, Once a Project, TikTok, Once a Project. And yeah, check you guys on the next one. See ya. Bye. Oh, dude.
That was fun, bro.